We'll play.
Boom. 3, 2, 1. Mark Sears basketball game. Bama beat Auburn. What a way to end the season. What a way to kick off for the Alabama to be, to end that off and to carry us on into the SEC tournament play, which we will be playing on Friday night. How's everybody doing tonight, guys? If you're in here, make sure you leave us a comment. Make sure you like the channel, subscribe, share the page out as well. Tell a friend to tell a friend about it. We got our normal crew in here with a +1 tonight, a familiar face to the channel. Stephen M. Smith's with us tonight, everybody. How you doing tonight, brother?
Man, guys, I'm good. JT, like you mentioned, Mark Sears, what a way to end the season, ripping the heart out of Auburn in the regular season, the Iron Bowl edition. My dad was not happy with that. He's an Auburn fan. It is what it is. But you get yourself into the SEC tournament. We know how competitive Nate Oates is. This is where he makes his money, right here in the SEC tournament, to try to set yourself up for a good seed in the big dance.
Yes, it is. It is. It is. It is. And Herb, my man, like always with us. How are we doing tonight, Herb? I know you was probably just not stressing at all watching that game.
I mean, we'll talk about it in a minute, my reactions, but I do have a point to make. First, Stephen M was in witness protection. Now I'm clearly on the run. Like, what's going on with the Bama Standard, man? What are you guys doing to certain folks? Like,
I was about to ask, when the show started, it sounded like one of those 1-800 hotlines from the 80s you would call late at night.
Look. Okay, so what happened was, Ray. That's Ray's fault for witness protection. That's Ray's fault.
Okay,
I got involved. Look, I got involved. I got involved in one of Ray's harebrained schemes, and that put me in there. And so that's
one of them jitterbugs. That's one of them jitterbug phones, ain't it?
Yeah.
Oh, guys. So thank y'all for joining us so much. We got a great show for you guys tonight. Before we kick off into that, as always, Herb, let the beautiful people know what they need to have, whether they're in their car on the road or they're doing a podcast show like this right here, or they're at Coleman.
You might have finally caught me. You finally might have caught me slipping because I am on the road. I am working. Wow, you don't believe nothing I'm saying, JT. You don't. Why is it you never believe anything I say, JT? Why? You already know, and I might not be the most skilled person here, but I got my title towel with me, right? I packed my work stuff and my title towel. Hey, no tears this past week, thanks to Mark Sears. Loved it,
hey.
loved it. Can't wait till this weekend, man. Go check out my boys at Whitwell Sports today. Tell them Herb sent you, but also type in the code standard to get your actual discount too.
And then take that thing to Bridgestone.
And then take it right there, baby, and then say Roll Tide. And before we kick off any further, guys, in case, Bama didn't lay a lot of stones, bricks up, we look good Saturday. But in case you're an Auburn fan, you might be building some bricks and stones off them shots. Pettey, let them know where they can find the beautiful natural stone in or around your home.
Yeah, Bama wasn't laying any bricks, but they had the crane going, and you can see the crane in your backyard with that beautiful patio done in natural stone.
Man,
realrockstone.com. Go to Lambstone today. If you're building that dream home, one little stone on your house, one little stone on the backyard to watch those cranes. Check them out today. They're located in Aniana, Alabama, one of the oldest, most trusted sources in the state. Tell them we sent you using the promo code the Bama Standard and receive 10% off your purchase of stone today. So go give Lambstone some love at realrockstone.com today, after the show, of course.
Give them some love, guys. And we're going to get the show kicked off because we got a jam-packed show tonight, guys. And we got Stephen M. Smith with us, too. Stephen M. Smith will pass around the mic like we do on Sunday night, basically, brother. I'm going to bring up our first topic right here. Alabama stuns Auburn. Kind of recap the regular season finale right there. We saw what Mark Sears did. We all know that buzzer beater. Grant Nelson, hey, that man just showed up and put some hair on his chest, okay? That's all I'm going to say. Okay, that's the Grant Nelson. When you see the size, you're like, yeah, that's how he plays. That's how you think he plays all the time. I love it. I'm hoping this was like the when we saw Goku turn to Super Saiyan any Dragon Ball Z fans. That first time that happened, that was huge. Hopefully, this is the transformation we're seeing right here with Grant Nelson. Any anime lovers will love that. But nigga Nelson looked great, guys. Bama, it was a hard-fought game. Yes, it was OT buzzer beater, but it takes that to win it. He said, white boy Rick has arrived just in time for the postseason. Stash comes out in March, baby. I see that.
Shout out Cat. Shout out Way Outside. Shout out Keenappy up there.
Stephen M. Smith, you're our guest tonight, so we're going to let you kick this one off, man. How do you feel about the Alabama stuns Auburn right there? Mark Sears buzzer beater, season finale. How we feel about that, brother?
I mean, you needed that to get yourself going into the SEC tournament, right? You needed that. Bruce Pearl have been talking a lot of noise. Bruce Pearl's been doing some good things there at Auburn, but it's a big thing when you are able to rip it from them in Auburn Arena in that kind of an environment. Having Mark Sears hit that shot, having Grant Nelson play the way he played, y'all. This is the Grant Nelson that was in the NCAA tournament last year against Clemson, against North Carolina, that was making big shot after big shot in those games to get Alabama into the Final Four. And then I listened to Mo Diabate earlier this week. We got in this tournament to win this thing, and you need Diabate getting you 14-10 this entire tournament. You need that. You need Diabate, you need Nelson, you need Fallon, you need Jaron Stevenson knocking down shots. You need your usuals to step up, and then a freshman or two to come out of the woodworks to get some things going as well. But it starts off with Sears. He cannot have turnovers. But it was a good way to stun Auburn and get yourself into the SEC dance.
I agree 100% with you there, Stephen M. Smith. That's a great way to end the season, great way to get the confidence to show you can play with them. We talked about that one on last Thursday. I don't think it's not a must win, but I think it was like we needed it win to prove to ourselves, like, all right, we can play with them, bro. Don't psych yourself out here. Herb, how do you feel about how that ended there? I know you probably wasn't sweating it at all, man. You was probably just like, we got this. You knew he was going to do that, right? You drew that play up, didn't you?
Well, I did draw that play up. So when I drew it up, I said, okay, remember what we did at Tennessee? Don't do that. And they're like, okay, we won't do that. Actually get the shot off this time. That was like the basic. I mean, it had the Tennessee feel at the end. Tie game, yeah. Phylon's got the ball. They're trying to get it to Sears. I truly believe that Sears was like, look, my game's been awful. I haven't shot great when I was, 7 points, I think, at that point, whatever. This is me. This is my time. And you ever just say stuff on this show and then later you go back and go, man, that was one of the dumbest things I think I ever said. Last week on this show, I was like, oh, the game's not that big. We'll be okay. It doesn't really, the big scheme of thing, it doesn't matter. I shook the house with how loud I was yelling after Sears hit that shot. I'm like, who was the idiot on the show last week trying to downplay it and say that this game wasn't going to be that big a deal? Whoever that guy is, we're cutting his salary's getting cut. Like, Nick, no more NIL for that dude, because that was an awful, awful take. But that was just a huge, huge game. And I think you're also kind of seeing in here, like, yeah, Sears has been playing better up until this game and the turnovers. Man, I love Phylon being back healthy and energetic and active. And it does not always show on the offensive end, but he is probably our best defender as well. Always active hands. And I just think he takes a lot of pressure off of Sears and off of Holloway, because Holloway can still slide back in his off the bench role. So Phylon to me is one of the keys of this, regardless of how the rest of this goes.
So I agree 100%. Go ahead.
No word. God, that I was Man, I'm almost mad at you for saying it. I was going to say, man, hands team of the week goes to foul line, and I think where the game. I mean, we can talk about the Sears play, we can talk about the gutsy play of Nelson. I thought where the game was won, or maybe even changed, even though Auburn tied it up, but it put math on Bama's side late. Was what you were talking about, foul line's hands. He knocked that ball away and then, got the steal and then took it to give the lead enough.
Yes.
At that point,
yes.
Auburn had to play the foul 3-point game. They did hit a 3, but again, they had to do that, and that still put it in our advantage because we then had the ball. We weren't playing from behind. I thought that was the play of the game beyond a shadow of a doubt was that foul line play, and I thought, you nailed it, Herb, with the hands.
I want to see this, though. I want to see this, though. I want to look at this. I want to look at Cliff and Diabate. Both of those big men are going to be huge in this tournament. Rebounds are going to play a role. Rebounds and not giving up second chance points. That's Cliff and Diabate. When Diabate has been attacking the boards, it's been a huge plus ratio for Alabama. And then when Cliff's not just attacking the boards, but when Cliff is altering shots, when he's being physical, when Cliff is altering shots, it changes a whole game. So I definitely want to see him and Mo on hard hat energy this whole tournament.
I agree.
Now,
Pettey,
Stephen M.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, Stephen M., one reason why Cliff had a big game is this panel called him out last week. And we take personal credit for that. We called it, his play had not been up to par, especially in the last couple games. And I feel like he took that to heart, and we got one of his best games against Auburn.
Yeah, that is true. Because we said it was like a little, just not hating, just a little disappointing. He played great, but just not to what, But then we watched what happened Saturday, and you're like, wow, that's what we were okay. And Nelson too. Like everybody played to the standard of what we thought. Pettey, did you want to? I know you said some things right there. Did you want to add anything to? Right there with the Bama stuns Auburn right there. Is there anything you want to add or,
No, other than that, I echo Herb that the last 2 days or Saturday up until today has made me quite the liar. I said, these games don't matter. I'm just sit back and enjoy them. If you don't win, no big deal. Yeah. Like you said, when Nelson hit that left-handed, that floater at the end of the game, good gosh. Yeah. The house erupted and, and all this boring basketball today at the SEC tournament might have gotten the blood going just a tiny bit.
Yeah, that Ole Miss game was pretty good. I know you was sweating bullets down there probably on that one, man. That boy,
that Texas A&M game after it was good.
Is that game still going, or did they finally end that game?
Right, I agree.
Texas finally put the dagger in them, but man, it's and this.
So Bama wraps up right there the season, as well everybody else did. Now we're on the SEC tournament play, as we were just talking about right there, guys. Is this a must-win for Alabama right here? Necessarily, no, it's not a must-win. Now, if Bama's trying to get back into that 1-seed conversation, this is a must-win. Bama needs to make a good run here. Because we're sitting at about the 6th overall seed, and we could push some guys around because our schedule's so tough that we will be able to throw our hat in there for a 4 seed, one of the 4 seeds. So with that being said, I think it all depends also. I don't want to play Kentucky for a 3rd time. I'm going to be honest. I kind of hope Oklahoma can pull a fast one tonight. I'd rather play Oklahoma again. But I would like to hear y'all's thoughts on that because that's going to be coming up in about 45 minutes now. Kentucky and Oklahoma will tip off. They might have a little delay depending on the Ole Miss game because of that double overtime, so it's probably going to push.
Oh, there's going to be a delay.
Yeah, I was about to say I forgot about the OT. It's actually going to be more than 45 minutes. It was scheduled 45 minutes from now, but it'll probably be more like 9:30.
Yeah, we still got 2 minutes and some change to go in the first half Missouri and State shockingly are in a tied ball game right now where it's going to probably go down to the wire again.
So while we're on this right here, let's talk with the Oklahoma-Kentucky matchup looming. We don't know who Bama will play, maybe one of the two. Let me hear, because we all know like the game isn't necessarily a must-win, but it is and it isn't at the same time. Okay, so Stephen M. Smith. Who would you rather see? Go ahead.
It's like I want Bama to win this, to have a play, like you said, JT, the number 1 seed. But we all know Joey Brackett, those guys at ESPN, they like to put the number 1 seed in the bracket of death. And that's kind of why I don't want Bama to have the number 1 seed, because I don't want Bama coming out the bracket of death. And you know, in that bracket, you're going to have 6 of the toughest teams in that one region, and it's a dogfight trying to get to the Elite 8 and then along the Final 4. So you want Bama to have that number 1 seed because of the prestige of it all, but you kind of don't want them to have it because you don't want them in that crazy bracket.
Yeah, true. Because it can go either way when you get in those brackets like that. When you end up playing, maybe Iowa State, their middle range team right there, ranked like 12th, I think, right now. Catch them in a round. They're a tough team. They had one of their backup guys have to go into a starting role. The dude dropped 30 points today. I know the competition's a little different. We can finally say the SEC competition's up to par and then some. And I'm excited to see how some of these other teams will face up against the Iowa States, the Texas Techs, and all these other teams. When you see Texas or Texas A&M or Arkansas get a chip at some of these guys, I think Ole Miss. I think some of these guys are going to be like, there's going to be a shock when we get down to like the top 32 and we're like, dang, there's like 10 SEC teams. What? like what? I would not be shocked if you saw 8 to 10 though. But Pettey, I want to hear from you right here on this one, man. Oklahoma or Kentucky? Let me know that. But then also kind of what's your all outlook right here of how everything's going down.
Man, I want Kentucky just for the fun of it. Like the family, if we're gonna do this thing, I've already made myself a liar. I was like, well, let's just get Oklahoma, let's get the win, let's not, and not have to ruffle too many feathers. No, come on, let's just get Kentucky and let's make this. They're already filling that thing up over there in Bridgestone. If you don't know, Kentucky is they are like the Bama of basketball, fan-wise, travel, and their fans don't get to go to many basketball games because it's like their season ticket holders pretty much fill up Rupp Arena. So the SEC tournament, they will take a week's vacation, like your spring break, your beach. Kentucky fans take off the week of the SEC tournament every year, and that place will be rocking. So look, just give me Kentucky, fill it up with blue, and let's send them all home pissed off back to grass. Let's just.
You know what? I kind of agree with Pettey on this one. I'm just gonna be honest. In going back to me as a college student at Bama, the games where we played Kentucky were the games I wanted the most. And I'll say this. I remember the one time Bama had Kentucky at Coleman Coliseum. I think this was 2013. So this was going into my sophomore year. And we had this one player. They called him, he was supposed to be the great Swede, Carl Engstrom. And Carl, this is the one game Carl actually did something. Carl had 4 points and 13 rebounds. And Bama beat Kentucky 55-52. And everybody thought, man, Swede finally came alive. And we never heard from Swede after that.
Hey, go out on top, baby. Retire. Hey, that's it. I've hit the mountaintop. I'm done.
Hey, I'm here. I'm good. You seen what I can do.
Look. What's crazy is Swede that whole season averaged 0.2 points a game. He go out there against Kentucky. He had 4 points. We were shocked. We didn't think we were going to get 4 points from him. And the big thing, look, 13 rebounds, Herb. He had 3 block shots, and he didn't foul out.
Look, man, all I'm going to say
that sounds like he blocked his own shot and grabbed a rebound. That's with those kind of stats.
Never underestimate somebody that's averaging under 1 point. That's what that story tells you right there. Okay. How you feel? SEC tournament. What's going on right now? The Oklahoma Kentucky kind of a thing. Pettey and Stephen F. Smith had a good outlook right there about who you wanted to play, who you didn't.
I agree. Yeah.
You know, how are you feeling about it? I still say give me Oklahoma, but that's just me. That's just me. But yeah,
No,
so we beat you twice in basketball. You beat us once in football. We beat you twice in basketball. But you know, go ahead, Herb.
No, sorry. I think they're right on why you want to play Kentucky. I'm usually with you, Jay. Like, just give me Oklahoma and let me slide on past here. I hate playing teams for a third time just because the mental edge sometimes, like, oh, we've already beat these guys and they're just out to get you. But I think if you want to try to slide back into that number one seed, you have to beat Kentucky. You got to play the better teams coming through here. It's got to be a Kentucky and then a Florida. The thing that worries me is we're back in the spot where I didn't necessarily want to be playing on Sunday. I like for this team with a little kind of banged up and injuries to get a little more rest. So it's kind of like, where are you at right now? Are you trying to get in there? You're trying to get the third match with Auburn, possibly win the whole SEC tournament? Or does the 1 seed not matter that much to you and you're trying to bow out and you're going to slide with the 2? So a lot of it is your motivation. But I think I agree with those guys. You got to play Kentucky if you want any designs on anything. And then, it's like everybody has been saying for years, we want Bama. I guess we want Kentucky.
Yeah, I guess so, man. Let's see if we're going to do it. We're going to do it. That's what everybody's saying. And I guess we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Line it up, tip the ball, run to the rim. Amari Williams is the one that scares me the most on Kentucky overall, the center.
Right.
The dude's a freak of nature down there. Last 5 games, he's averaging 12 points. I think he's averaging right around 10 rebounds a game for the season. His last, let me remember, his last 5, 8. His last 5 is 8. I remember that. I have that in my notes. I forgot about that. Yeah, so 8, his last 5. I think it's just what I'm saying is the guys, his numbers may not show here as of late, but I mean, against Auburn, he had 14 boards. Against Alabama, he had 11 against us in February. So, like, and the reason I say that is giving Kentucky more chances is just something you don't want. All right, so, and he is
I agree with that.
He's a chance maker for them. I've seen numerous of times him getting the offensive board, which is just, people talk about offensive rebounds versus defensive rebounds. That is a big thing in a game, in my opinion. You start getting a lot of offensive rebounds. Now, obviously, you want defensive too, because then you're giving the other team offensive rebounds too. But you getting that's a second chance to A, get fouled, B, get another pass, get another shot, kill time. A lot of different things there. And it's an underrated stat that doesn't get talked about a lot, offensive rebounds. What, you got something, Stephen Smith?
I'm going to say this. The one reason why the Kentucky fans want this tournament as bad as they want it, y'all, they want to prove they can win it without Calipari. For a long time, it's been the only reason why Kentucky is who they are is Calipari. Now, Tubby Smith was great too before Calipari came on the scene. But a lot of people are saying Kentucky only really truly became Kentucky is because of Calipari. Calipari's now at Arkansas, and he's done some great things with the Hogs this season. But for Kentucky to win the SEC tournament, it would be, we got that thing done without Cal. It's kind of like that whole Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, who won out better. Yeah. So Kentucky fans are like, we can get this without Cal. That's the reason why the Wildcat fans want this. But I feel like Nate Oates and this team got some for him.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I agree that Kentucky I think Kentucky needs it more than Bama. First of all, Ann, thanks for that $4.99 super chat. Roll Tide.
Oh yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
But hold on now, Stephen. I know you're a little younger. I know you were at Bama in 2012, 2013. But there before Tubby, there was a guy named Rick Pitino.
I was about to say him too.
The Monster Mash days, one of the greatest basketball games of all time was Duke, Kentucky. But I do agree. I think it's more than that. I think it's kind of like almost like Bama in football when it hadn't been done for a while, but there's still that expectation of we're supposed to be there. And yeah, like you said, can we do this without Cal? We got rid of him. You know, they want to prove that they made the right call, like you said, and it's going to be a big game for them. I think it's much bigger for them. Again, like I think you're dead on in that regard. But I had to get more for us old timers that grew up in the night, that grew up watching them 90s games too.
Oh yeah, Patino was slick with it though. Ricky P was slick with it. I gotta give it to him.
He's slick with it in them Italian restaurants too.
That boy. No. So that SEC tournament, a lot of shakes that can happen here, guys. Like I said, we're still playing for a 1 seed, so things can go right for us in this. Things can go the opposite way too at the same time.
What do y'all think it takes to get a 1 seed? Getting to Sunday or winning on Sunday?
I think
getting to Sunday.
If we handily get to Sunday, like, yeah, all right, they and then we get there and play Auburn. I think we could get a 1 seed if we get there and play Auburn and play them really, really, really competitively. It'd have to be Auburn or Florida though, in my opinion, because my opinion.
Florida, we would play Florida to get there. So my thing about the Sunday game is the committee's meeting while we're playing the game. So I don't know how much weight. Yeah, I just don't know how much weight the end of that game can have for you.
Great point, Herb. I was kind of leaning with Steven. I think you got to win it, but I'm not. Again, they're already they're already putting the brackets together.
I was just about to say that's actually the best point right there. What you just made, Herb. I don't think you can argue that point because that's just common sense when you look at it. Like, yeah, the decision's going to be made.
So that's that's way different from like the college football playoff and football.
Way different, Stephen Smith.
They're already making so I'll agree with Herb. Just get to the championship game. Just get there.
Yeah. I would say that. Now and just a real quick point. I didn't watch this whole thing, but I guess Mad Dog was screaming at the SEC for having, because a lot of them have their championship game on Saturday for this point. And do you guys see a point where they'd move the? Yeah, that's what I was going to. Do y'all see a point where they move the SEC one off of Saturday? Off Sunday?
I think so. I think this could happen soon, depending on especially this year. Because you could actually have it be an Alabama Auburn in the SEC championship, and both of them are deserving a 1 seed. But also at the same time, we made our best run last year and we weren't a 1 seed, So
right.
We could be in that. We're going to be a 2 seed if not. We don't
I think
fall
so,
back.
too.
We don't fall. I don't think we move where we're at. Like, we're where we are. We can go up, but I don't think we go down necessarily.
Right.
No.
It would have to be something very, 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 like, god-awfuling. I'm not even going to speak of happen, but, yeah. So, no.
By tomorrow in the tournament, I don't think you can hurt yourself as far as seeding goes.
That's
I agree.
True. That's 100% true. And that's kind of also with we just talked about our last topic, kind of with that right there, guys, to look ahead, the possibilities for seedings, best case scenarios, national championships. That's kind of where we kind of spoke about that. We'll kind of all touch on this too, but that's kind of what we just said, really. We were just talking about it like this, the best case scenarios, and like, what are we talking about? It's going to set us up for that. It's what we just said. Now, how much weighing goes in on Sunday depends at all, in my opinion. Real quick, we'll rapid fire this. Stephen M. Smith, you got anything you want to touch on this? I know we kind of just said it, but is there anything you want to add or take away? Or
I mean, it goes back to what you guys mentioned. Like, if you get to the championship game of the SEC dance, you're going to go in more than likely as a 1 seed. My main thing is going to be who is in that bracket with you. That's my main thing, because you got the East, the West, the Midwest, the South, how they want to play these regions here. Who is in that bracket, right? Because if they put Bama in a bracket with like Villanova, like Villanova, Duke, Carolina, but I'm like, oh, smoke. whoever come out, Houston, whoever come out of that bracket is going to make it.
I'm going to tell you this, though, man. Not that impressed with Houston today.
Okay.
I watched them. Play today. Now they could have caught them on a flat day. Could have been a flat day. But just wasn't as impressive, especially defensively with Houston.
And I know the season's long and teams are different than they were 2 months ago, 3 months ago, but Houston's played 2 SEC teams on the resume and they lost to both of them from
right.
That too.
It's
lost
yeah. But just for a moment, as we're talking about scenarios here, look at how crazy this is, guys. For the first time in like years, like decades, this is not the ACC basketball. This is not the Big Ten basketball.
SEC, baby.
SEC is running college basketball right now. There was a time where you would look at college basketball and go, it ain't no college basketball without Duke, without Carolina, without Syracuse, without the ACC. Now, you got the SEC top to bottom is crazy good. It's crazy good.
I agree 100%, bro. I'm going to pass it over to Pettey. I'm going to let Pettey close this out tonight, guys. I got to step off early. Next time I see y'all, also real quick, Friday night, 8:30 p.m., we're going to have the game, right? I don't know if Herb and Pettey can or not, but we're going to talk about it. We might have a live recap right after that game if it's a possibility. I'll be able to. I'll talk with them boys.
I can do it.
And we'll see about it. And we might have that right after the game Friday night. And give an instant recap of how things are going with Alabama basketball. Put a highlight on this show. But thank you, guys. I got to bounce. Pettey, take over, brother.
Gotcha,
We'll get pissed about number to tie, baby.
Roll Tide, JT.
No, and to your point, Stephen, the stats are backing it up. At some point about a week or two ago, it came out that the SEC had the highest conference net of all time, passing like 98 ACC. Which again,
geez.
And the crazier stat, and I think I mentioned it on the last show. The SEC is played. They break all the teams down into 4 different, quads: quad 1, quad 2, quad 3, quad 4. The SEC has played 45 quad 3 games as a conference. They lost 1 out of 45. The ACC lost 38 as a conference. It's just, man, what the SEC's doing is unprecedented. And, it kind of points back to what, and I think this is where football, I know we like to do the football talk, should kind of pay attention. For years, we've done the big dance, and nobody gave a shit or got up in their feels when Duke was a 1 seed and North Carolina was a 1 seed and Wake Forest was a 2 seed and all this. Because they were the best team. So, like football, pay attention. It's okay. If the SEC has 3 of the top 4 seeds, so be it. That's just the way it is. Sorry, I didn't mean to go on that rant.
Right. No, you're good. I don't know that you have good arguments for the other people either. You're kind of looking at a Houston, and like you guys already said, they played 2 of the top SEC teams and lost. Duke, I realize they've been good all year, but now you've got, possible injury coming up. And the conference has been so bad that there's like no signature wins really for them outside of, they beat Auburn at home early on in the year. So that's pretty much carrying your argument. You just look around the rest of the teams and you're probably just not as scared as you are as the top of the SEC. Like, we've been talking Auburn like all year, and you talk Alabama all year, and then Florida might end up being your best team. And then Tennessee will grind you to death. And they're probably out Houstoning Houston at this point. So your top 4 seeds, I would take them any of the conference tournaments in the country, and I think they could get a win. And so, it's like you just said, it's warranted. The love for the SEC this year is just warranted.
Absolutely.
I go back to, guys, and I remember when Bama made the run in 2020 with, Alex Reese and John Pettey, Herb Jones. They got that run, and it started in the SEC tournament. You go up against LSU. Herb Jones challenges a shot. You win by 1. You kick, Wade out the gym there, and then you go into the tournament, right? You get all the way to the Elite 8. You had UCLA. You had them. And you couldn't quite get that one. And you go from that to some years later, you get to the Final Four. I think Bama's got the depth. They've got the depth, not just to get there, but I think this year, Nate Oates takes that next step. They get to the championship game of the NCAA tournament. They get to the championship game this time around. Can they pull it out? It's going to be a big one. But I think they get to the championship game this year at the NCAA tournament.
Well, and I don't think you're crazy at all, Stephen. I think we saw 2 games in the last week that showed us absolutely that this team could win and win against the best. First, you go to Knoxville and you control the game for 39 minutes and 30 seconds. That's a team that's a bad matchup for you historically, and you should have won the game. Then you go down to Auburn, the perennial number 1 team in the country this year, and take care of business. It shows, man, like you said, you got to win 6 in March once you get there. But when you get to those final 2, you've already proven you can beat the best of the best. And now you do it on a neutral court. I'm with you, Stephen. This team. And look, we all know, if you've watched it all in your life, March Madness is a crapshoot. It's about seeding. It's about luck. It's about all kind of
This
magic.
is why I am done doing those ESPN brackets. I'm done.
Whoa. I've got a bracket coming up, though. You're not going to watch our bracket show on Tuesday?
Look, Herb. I will help consult you on yours. I'm not doing one myself anymore. Because
Steven, I'm still sending you the invite. You're still getting the invite.
No.
I don't need any help with my bracket because I always lose at least one region by the first weekend. So you don't want to waste your time helping me because that's like jumping onto the Titanic. You don't want to do that. You'll be so upset. Hey, we already lost the Final Four person in the first day? Yeah, we lost one of our Final Four teams in the first day.
I'm not going to look. It was about 4 years ago. I literally thought I had crafted the perfect one, right? I thought I had done the research. I had done the numbers, the history. I had like a whole notebook full of data. And my number 1 seed lost to 15 Lehigh. I'm done. I'm done with this. And so I got a friend of mine. Never watched a lick of basketball, but day in his life, he does his bracket based off of the colors. I like this color. I hate this color. I like this color. I hate this color. The dude got to the Final Four.
I'm not even surprised anymore.
But to your point, that I think you summed it up perfectly. It's madness. It's why they call it March Madness.
It is.
Pettey.
But barring the madness, this team absolutely, because of what you said and what we talked about all year, the depth. It can make that run, guys.
Yes, absolutely. As long as you ain't playing the color scheme.
Yeah, as long as you ain't playing the color scheme. I've been pretty hit or miss. I either win them or come in dead last to those things. I'm nowhere in between.
I have yet to get all 4 of my Final Four teams through the first weekend. I think maybe ever. So,
we did this. I did this one called Cinderella where you get more credit for hitting Cinderellas, and I won it 2 years in a row and then came in dead last the next. So that's what I was talking about. I'm either hit or miss. But I knew after winning it 1 year, I almost didn't play because I'm like, you don't win these 2 years in a row because it's like winning the lottery. And then it happened again. They're like, you know what you're doing. I'm like, no, it's you just better be looking out for a meteor at any moment. But and then I proved my worth the next year by, like you said, your 1 seed's not making it out of the. With that said, madness is upon us. We all believe, and if you don't believe, then get off the boat. Don't bring your title towel around here unless you believe we can win some titles. But with that said, we got a few questions from the crowd we want to get to before we get you guys out. But let's give a little love if you're heading up to Bridgestone Arena. Give a little love to the people. Keep the lights on here at Whitwell Sports. Get that title towel today. I can't do it, boy. Smoke would be killing me. I didn't have it upside down. I had it. Smoke, you out there?
He might be in the comments, man.
Hey, Smoke. Hey, Smoke came and joined us on Tuesday.
He sure did. Promo code standard. Get 20% off, and maybe do it the right way. And don't tell Smoke. Yeah, he came, came and joined you guys. All right. Question and answer. I'm going to let you guys hit this up. Alex Wilder, what's a good weight for Russell, y'all think? Especially, Bama fans, y'all just can't help it. It's March Madness, and we asking Russell a question.
Look, I will answer this question from Alex Wilder. Key Russ is already at 192 pounds. He didn't put on weight. He came in at 170. Coach Ballou said, hey, bro, get in here. He didn't put weight. He's 192. The man then thickened up. You can see the definition in the sides, in the chest there, in the arms, in the legs some too. Like, they have bulked him up. He's bulked up.
There you go. Getting our football fixed here in basketball. I get it, Bama fans. I understand when we're in the stands, we're still talking football. This one we got two ways. Way offsides, Jeff says, is Reed out for the season? And also, Joe Edwards asked, will Reed be back playing again? Herb, you got any insight on that? Steven?
I didn't think he was out for the season. It's like every week, though, he is getting closer to getting back, and they keep calling him kind of a day-to-day. But there's never been an indication, to my knowledge, that he was out for the season. I think they're still trying to get him back to playing shape.
I think it's the same thing with me, too. There was never a definitive word from Nate Oates that Reed is done for the year. I think they're just trying to get him back on the court as quickly as they can. Now, if I had to put it up to it, I think by the big dance, by the NCAA tournament, if Reed is like, hey, coach, I'm ready, like I'm really ready, they will put him back in that lineup.
Yeah, but I would be like limited minutes the first weekend for sure, and I think you get through without there. But I'm with you, Steven. It's just his wording has always been he's getting closer. So from Oates' mouth, it has never been, hey, we're shutting him down.
That's literally Nate Oates mirrors Nick Saban in that way. Like Saban would hold his card so close to the vest. Saban would be like, well, so-and-so is day to day. He's kind of got foot. All right, we don't know. We'll have him out there in practice. He won't practice Monday. We'll have him out there Tuesday. He'll do ring around the Rosie on Wednesday. We'll throw him out there. Oates is kind of like that. Oates will kind of tell you, we did him in shoot around. It's kind of a pregame decision.
It's funny. They're both so intense, but they do it completely different when it comes to the injury report.
Yeah.
Coaches and injury reports, man. They're all weird about it.
Yeah.
Way offsides, Jeff. Is a one seed that important, honestly?
No. Look.
Draw.
Look, get into the dance and just make sure you're not in the death bracket. That's it.
Yeah. But not at all to me. Like Steven said earlier, prestige. That's kind of, one of those things. But no, after that, we just want wins. So nobody cares.
I mean, you want to get in Houston's one sit bracket if you can. If you're not a one.
Once you make the tournament, it's 3 words: survive and advance.
Yep.
That's it.
That's right. That's it. And A&M with the super chat. We appreciate you again, as always, showing up. Always a great supporter. Always a great night going hard in the paint. Guys, the SEC tournament is just piping up. If you haven't been paying attention, it's fire. Ole Miss with the last-second shot from Padula earlier today to beat Arkansas. Texas, newly in the league, comes at Texas A&M, their rival in the first year in the tournament, and they go to double overtime in a thriller. Right now we got Mississippi State and Missouri exchanging blows. We'll have Kentucky, Oklahoma later tonight. And then we get all the top 4 seeds getting all their gifts coming up. So, man, it's hold up. 12-1 Training coming in with a super chat before we get out of here. 12-1 Training, who we're trying to figure out who it is. He either watches every show, knows way too much, or he's a plant. Steven, can you tell us about the time you got nailed with a football in Bama practice?
Everybody wants to hear this story so bad.
This person, they watch our shows. They know they either are a super fan or it's Justin Riley undercover.
Man, look. So if it's Justin Riley undercover, whoever this is, I'm gonna tell you the story. So because I remember it vividly. So this was 2015. It was spring ball. I'm going out to Bryant-Denny. This was the first scrimmage. Actually, this is the first scrimmage. I'm at Bryant-Denny. They're taking the media through warm-ups. So I'm out there with my camera. This was during that time we were experimenting with Cooper Bateman at wide receiver. We were experimenting with Cooper Bateman. So that's funny in a nutshell right there. And so we tried Cooper out at wide receiver. He was not flashing that speed. So Saban was like, you know what? Let's put you back at quarterback here. So Cooper Bateman is throwing passes, routes on air drill. Cooper threw the ball so hard that Lane Kiffin gets ticked off. So he asks Cooper Bateman to throw it again. Cooper gives Lane Kiffin the side eye. Lane Kiffin's like, I don't care. He gives the side eye right back to Cooper Bateman. Cooper Bateman drops back to pass. He throws the ball. He's trying to throw the ball to Calvin Ridley. The ball is way off. The ball hits the ground, rolls about 3 times, pops up off the ground, and gets me where the sun don't shine. I drop to both knees in utter pain. Like, Bateman and hit me in buff football. Like, I'm in utter pain, sweating, popping out of my face. It's like 100-degree heat. I'm looking dead at Coach Saban like, you ain't gonna say something? You ain't gonna say something? You ain't gonna say something? Nick looks at me. He looks away from me, goes back to coaching, and the athletic department looks at me. Hey, Smith, you ain't dead. Get up and walk out of here. I'm like,
rub some dirt on it.
No love for you guys doing the hard work on the side.
Oh, my goodness.
Like, I took a football to the Jewels, and I'm getting up like, Lord, if I have kids, it's a miracle. That was rough.
Good stuff. Well, guys, it's been a great show. As JT said, we might be showing up for some after shows when the tournament arrives. But guys, madness is upon us. The dance is here. Buckle up. It's going to be a fun ride. Hopefully, it's a long ride. And we will be there.
To answer your question, Brian Russell, yes, I got drilled by Bateman.
Where can we find you guys? Steven, man, thank you for joining us. First of all, thanks for hopping in tonight. Let me give some love to our special guest who's, if you haven't paid attention to our network, he is all over the Bama Standard, usually dropping all that inside from practice, recruiting, all the good stuff on the football team. But we are so glad you joined us tonight to talk a little orange round ball going into March Madness, Steven.
Well, the people can find me, as I'm not in the witness protection program. People can find me on X at Coach and M Smith right there. On X at Coach and M Smith there. They can find me doing some work here for these Pale City High School Panthers under Coach Nick Gentry. Those guys are still in their weight program there. Outstanding program. These young men are trying to go after a 6A deep playoff run, trying to go back-to-back deep playoff run. So excited with the guys in Pale City to get a chance to do. They can find me here on the Bama Standard Network on the Tuesdays, the flagship show. They can find me on Thursdays as well. Not Thursday, Saturday, talking Bama, JB, JT, Herb, the better Ragsdale, and myself right
better
here.
Ragsdale.
And then Saturdays, Smoke and I have something going here on Saturdays that we're about to tee off here with that. And it's been happy to be here, going hard in the paint with JT, the better Ragsdale again, and Daniel Calvin Klein Pettey.
Man, I'm sorry, Roderick sidekick Herb. I've got one more. I haven't done it in a while. I had to throw it in. We've got to keep that one rolling. 12-1 trainings, throwing more super chat. So I guess we have to answer. Can we hear about the time Pettey got a lackey to steal an opposing team's helmet after a game? I didn't know that they had stole it. I actually thought they stole it from a tailgate for years, and I felt bad for the fan. 2001, Alabama Ole Miss. Deuce McAllister, it's on campus. I actually live off Bryant Drive right next to Queen City. Ole Miss was favored. They're up 7-6. Deuce McAllister gets hurt, and then the ass beating ensues. Bama wins, I think, 42-7 that night. I drink heavily because this is when that weird point where I'm going to Alabama and cheering for Ole Miss, and I'm a weird guy and living on campus. But I get back to my room in campus, and this is sitting on my dresser. And I don't know how the hell it got it, like a magic trick. I said, holy shit, that's an authentic Ole Miss helmet sitting on my dresser after I don't know how. So, and nobody comes forth with it for years and years. And actually doing this podcast, and I had a buddy come on that was a Sigma Chi at Alabama. And he said, one time we stole a helmet off the sideline during an Ole Miss game. I never knew what happened to it. Somehow it got passed around the Sigma Chi house, and they were like, we got to get this to Pettey. So what happened is the Sigma Chi after the game was walking down to the field, and he had a pledge with him. And he told the pledge, we're about to walk on this field. He's like, what the hell? He's like, just act like you belong. Because, it was after the game, everybody's walking around, and the fence was open. And a box happened to be sitting there, and he said, shit, grab that box. And then they'll just walk on. So they walk on the field with the box. Well, then they see an Ole Miss football that's got the, the game football that's got the stamp on it, and a helmet. They throw both in the box, walk off, and somehow it ends up on my thing. So years later, somehow. But the funnier thing is, I always wondered, some player got back to the locker room that night, sans helmet. I'm like, man, that dude's like, coach is like, where's your helmet? It's got to go. We're getting back on the bus. Like, I don't know, coach. It's like, how the hell you lose your helmet? Like, I don't know, man. It's gone. Well,
somebody was running stadium steps because of you.
he threw up, and that thing's sitting on my. Sorry, buddy. You don't know how many times I put it on and looked in the mirror. Don't worry though. We're not getting out of it. I saw another one pop up. Did I see another? Oh no, that was on my side. So yeah, that's it. Have you heard that story, Herb? Have you had to?
Yeah, you had to tell it on something. So yeah, I've heard it once.
Have you heard that one, Stephen?
I've heard that one. Now, of course, Pettey, yours is better than the time where I, was so hyped up during the game that I knocked my cousin's 2 front teeth out of his mouth. I don't think nobody heard that one, but that'll be a story for another day unless y'all want to hear that one now.
12-1 training, yes, before every football game.
Yeah.
Herb, where can we find you, buddy?
Raj_Herb on Twitter, Herb and Raj podcast on YouTube. You can check out all of our videos. We do our show live Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then, of course, on this network, Sunday nights talking Bama, and then going hard in the paint every Thursday night to 7:30, where apparently we even get football questions on here, but we handle everything on this show.
That's right. Herb, as always, we appreciate you. Stephen, hop on again with us as March Madness rolls along, man. Come on for the excitement.
Definitely.
Hey, it's all about popping the bubble in March, man.
And you can find me at Pettey_Daniel. I'm all over. Monday, I'm with Smoke. Tuesday, I'm on the Bama Standard at 7. I also do the Final Whistle. Joe, if that's what you're asking about, they've got their own channel called the Final Whistle. Just search for it on YouTube and hit subscribe. That way it'll pop up. Pettey making it a flower pot. Also, yeah, and check out what we've got going Saturdays. I know Steven mentioned it. Smoke he's got this thing coming out with Marvin called Constantly Smoking, and I think I think Steven's going to be on it as a guest a good bit. I don't know. It's a project, but if you've noticed, there's been some videos the last several Saturdays. People seem to like them. It's going to be updates on what's going on with inside the program, and the man with all the knowledge inside the program sitting under us right now, the man Stephen Smith. With that said, we're going in.
Man, I'm just trying to balance out of Kagan DeBoer's files here. Like, there's a lot of files here.
Yeah, that's Joe. The Final Whistle. Go to the Final Whistle Network YouTube channel. Like, search it. Just search. Go to YouTube right now, after we get off, and search the Final Whistle, and it'll pop up. You'll find it, and then you can subscribe, and that way it'll always pop up. So yeah, we're like an umbrella, man. We're just branching out. Is that how that works? With that said,
I hope your umbrella is not branching out, but yes.
We're like a banana tree. We're going to split.
Better. Better.
Got him. But we're going in on those final two words. Let's go do some March Madness. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Oh, my goodness.